activities in the Nigerian political space, views of political actors from various political parties on political process, views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to F1 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date. Get up, stand up for your right. Know your rights. Mara Ikigari Nwere. Basically, as a citizen of Nigeria, you've got it all. Freedom of movement, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Onye karịrị gị ananara gị ihe ị nwere n'ike maka na onwe gị ihe ị ga-eme. Ana gị, moto gị, ana-emegbu gị n'ikpe dị iche iche. Are you oppressed or intimidated in any way and means? By the personal group, ndị law enforcement agents ma ndị ọrụ nchekwa ndị ọzọ niile a na-emegbu gị maka na onweghị ihe ị ga-eme. Nwanne amawa gị aka anala gị oke ruru gị, gwa gị na onweghị ihe ị ga-eme maka na ịbụ onye riri akpọ gị mugwu. Mmadụ asị gị na onweghị ihe ị ga-eme na ọ ga-akpọchi gị for 2 weeks or 1 week maka na ọ karịrị gị. Mba nọ. Share your experience with 103.5 FM every Wednesday 5 o'clock till 6 and every Saturday 9 a.m. All anyị kwa Wednesday na Saturday ọbụla anyị ka anyị lụọ. Stand up for your right. Listen to news updates on F1 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. F1 FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that people are hoping for a new Nigeria.
Well, listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to F1 103.5 FM News Update. Today, Friday, the 3rd day of February 2023. And the time is a minute past the hour of 6. Martin Ifanshuku Ekezie is my name. The headlines. Ibezim denies sponsoring killings in Anambra State. Man docked for allegedly stealing engine oil worth 1.3 million naira in Enugu. Peterobi stands no chance. Anambra votes will be swallowed by one Kaduna local government, Nasser El-Rufai. Appeal court restrains PDP, INEC from conducting fresh primaries in Imo Federal Constituency. Ebonyi APC warns opposition against violent politics. Woman sues UK school for making son participate in LGBT parade. Now, details. Ibezim denies sponsoring killings in Anambra State. The All Progressive Congress APC House of Representatives candidate for Idemili North and South Federal Constituency in Anambra State, Honorable Ifanshuku Ibezi, has denied sponsoring the gruesome killings in the state. Ibezi was reacting to a video produced by one Chukwuka of Ebu, aka Ijele, accusing him of being behind the heinous murders in Anambra State. Denying the allegation in a statement signed by Mr. Obaka Onwanibe on behalf of the Ibezi media team, Honorable Ibezi averred what the producer and sponsor of the infertile and mendacious video did not bother to tell their listeners is the motive Honorable Ibezi may have had to sponsor such heinous crimes in Anambra. Why would Honorable Ifanshuku Ibezi sponsor the death of people? The anonymous caller in the video mentioned. Could those unfortunate victims who were not even from Idemili North and South Federal Constituency and who were not politicians in any way have stood in the way of Ibezi's political career? What value was their death to the progress of otherwise of Honorable Ibezi's politics? For the avoidance of doubt, Honorable Ifanshuku Ibezi has never and will never be part of any plot to maim or kill anybody, given the seriousness of the allegations. Honorable Ibezi has already briefed appropriate security agencies and his lawyers over this unsavory development. Rather than be distracted, Honorable Ifeanyi Chukwu Ibezi will continue his intense and grassroots-focused campaigns in the 17 communities of Idemmili which have endeared him to Umu Idemmili. Opponents should understand that 2023 election will be different and the electorate are wiser. Only achievements will count before them and not mud-slinging. Honorable Ibezi wishes to thank many Nigerians, Ndanambra and Umu Idemmili, who have called to express their concerns and support. He reiterates his pledge to ensure robust, quality, and effective representation if elected to represent the good people of Idemmili North and South Federal Constituency at the 10th National Assembly come February 25th, 2023. Man docked for allegedly stealing engine oil worth 1.3 million naira in Enugu. Police in Enugu on Thursday arraigned one Moses Chikereze before an Enugu East Magistrate Court for allegedly stealing 4 drums of engine oil valued at 1.3 million naira. The engine oil was said to belong to Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC. Chikereze was arraigned on a 1-count charge bordering on stealing. Chikereze pleaded not guilty to the charge. Earlier, the prosecution counsel, Mr. Ruben Ihejiobi, told the court that the defendant and others now at large had on December 8, 2022 at EEDC substation, Tinker's Corner, Enugu, stole 4 drums of engine oil valued at 340,000 naira each, totaling 1,360,000 naira. Ihejiobi said the offense contravenes section 353 cap 30, Volume 2 of the Revised Criminal Law of Enugu State, 2004. But counsel to the defendant, Mr. J.O. Eni, urged the court to grant his client bail because the offense was bailable. My lord, we have a reliable surety who can take him on bail. He is a pensioner and has a blood relation to the defendant, Eni told the court. The magistrate, Mrs. Jane Aja, turned down Eni's request but asked Eni to take his client on bail. Aja adjourned the matter until March 7th for a hearing. Peterobi stands no chance. Anambra votes will be swallowed by one Kaduna local government, Nasser El-Rufai. Governor Nasser El-Rufai of Kaduna has dealt a hard knock on the chances of Peterobi in this month's election, saying the one local government's votes in his state would wipe out the votes of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in Anambra. He dismissed the former Anambra governor as a Nollywood actor who cannot muster the winning numbers at the polls. Kano is 4 million votes. Kano is 4 million votes that actually happened. Anambra is what? The number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna, Mr. El-Rufai boasted on Thursday. Mr. Obi is regarded as one of the top 3 contenders for Nigeria's top job, alongside Atiku Abubakar of the main opposition People's Democratic Party and Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressive Congress, garnering massive support among young Nigerians online and his native southeastern region. Mr. Obi, a committed Catholic, has repeatedly urged Nigerians not to tribe or religion. He said citizens should critically consider the character and competencies of candidates before casting their ballots for them. Nonetheless, the diminutive Kaduna governor said on a live program that Mr. Obi stands no chance at the February 25th polls. He added that the fact that the Labour Party candidate was gathering 70% of the electorate in his home state of Anambra does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than you. Peterobi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. These how the votes are. All states are not equal. Peterobi can't win the election. He doesn't have the number of states. He doesn't have 25% in more than 16 states. He can't go anywhere. Peterobi is a Nollywood actor, and that's all he will be, Mr. El-Rufai said. He stressed that polling outcomes for Mr. Peterobi outside his southeast base were abysmal. He is not polling well in southwest, other than a drop of ocean in Lagos. He is polling in Christian enclaves in the north. He is polling well, but how many are they? Mr. El-Rufai queried. According to the Kaduna governor, the presidential election is between the PDP and APC, who already have an existing structure spread across the country. This election is between the APC and the PDP because they have the footprint. They have the spread. Ethnicity and religious bigotry will not take you anywhere, and that's what the Labour Party can be, he stated. Appeal court restrains PDP, INEC from conducting fresh primaries in Imo Federal Constituency. A federal court of appeal sitting in Owerri has stayed the execution of an earlier judgment ordering the conduct of fresh primaries by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Abo Mbise, Ngokbala Federal Constituency of Imo State. The development comes barely 3 weeks before the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections. In January, a federal high court has sacked Albert Agulanna, who emerged as the PDP House of Representatives candidate for Abo Mbise, Ngokbala Federal Constituency. The lower court also ordered that a fresh primary be held in the federal constituency within 14 days of the judgment. However, following appeal filed by Dr. Uzoma Ugochukwu, the appellant court has restrained the PDP from conducting the fresh primaries. The court, in a judgment delivered by a three-man panel led by Justice Rita Emu, held that the PDP and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) should not conduct any fresh primaries pending the outcome of the appeal at the Supreme Court. Accordingly, it is hereby ordered as follows. The order of this Honorable Court made on the 20th of January 2023 ordering a fresh primary election for Abo Mbise Ngokbara Federal Constituency of Imo State pending the hearing and final determination of the applicants appealed before the Supreme Court on the propriety of the said order of fresh primary be and is hereby stayed. Consequently, by this order, the first and second respondents are hereby restrained from enforcing in any way whatsoever the judgment of this court delivered on 20th of January 2023 by way of conducting a fresh primary election for the Abo Mbise Ngokbala Federal Constituency, the court declared. Ebonyi APC warns opposition against politics. The ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in Ebonyi State has warned opposition parties in the state to eschew campaigns of violence, saying that it would not be distracted by the antics of the opposition parties in its quest to win the forthcoming elections in the state. The Director General of the Divine Mandate Campaign Council All Progressive Congress (APC) in the state, Chief Austin Umahi, who stated this at a news conference in Abakaliki, said the party would not budge to the distractions of the opposition to take to violence in the electioneering process. Chief Umahi lamented the situation where the opposition elements have resorted to the destruction of billboards and posters of the APC just to push the party and campaign council to provocation. He assured that despite provocation, the Divine Mandate Campaign Council will remain undeterred and operate in tune with global best practices. That has to stop. We are warning it must stop, otherwise they will be pushing us to the wall. We are working assiduously hard. We are convinced, we know and believe very well that God is the one who blesses the one who diligently works his way. We are convinced that there is no other party. We have decided to be matured and let them count themselves lucky that we have a God-fearing governor, a man that believes that no contest is worth the spilling of blood. They are trying to provoke us into crisis, but we have said no. We cannot do their bidding. The campaign council director general expressed hope that the APC would cruise to victory at all levels during the general election despite the antics of the opposition, while remarking that the APC governorship candidate was massively chosen by the people for his vast experience in governance. Chief Umahi decried how the comments of the candidate in Isaac South was twisted by the opposition, insisting that Chief Muifuru means well for the Eza Nation. This young man advised the fathers, the Eza Nation, to please invest in the venture because there are dividends in this investment. People play politics with everything, and I want to say he couldn't have meant otherwise because he is a seasoned politician. You cannot play with Eza Nation in the political equation of Ebonyi State. You cannot play with them, but our joy, unspeakable joy, is that these so-called oppositions, they are only on Facebook. He assured Ebonyi people that the APC and the governorship candidate have articulated the burning needs of citizens with a view to addressing them headlong on assumption of office in May. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Woman sues UK school for making son participate in LGBT parade. A devout Christian mother, Mrs. Izzy Motago, has filed a lawsuit against her son's school, Evers Palm Primary School in South Northwood, London, for forcing him to participate in an LGBT pride parade. The 28-year-old woman told the Central London County Court that the event her child was forced by the school to partake in what was described as the most serious of the deadly sins. According to newsmen, the school sent a letter to parents on June 19, 2018, inviting their children to partake in a pride march. Pupils were encouraged to celebrate the differences that make them and their family special. But Motago took issue with the pride event and said her 4-year-old son would not be taking part. She contacted the school and said his involvement with the LGBT celebration would echo a public display of adherence to views which she did not accept. However, her request was refused by the head teacher Susan Pappas, leading to the woman replying with a lengthy email. Motago met with Miss Pappas on September 19, in which the head teacher's daughter wore a t-shirt with the slogan, "Why be racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic when you could just be quiet," the court heard. George Christopher Lethem described the woman and her husband as devout born-again Christians, and they bear a belief that sexual relations should be abstained from or take place within a lifelong marriage between a man and a woman, and any activity outside those confines is sinful. They also say pride is considered to be the most serious of the deadly sins, Lethem added. It was the first time that a UK court will scrutinize the legality of teaching about LGBT issues in primary schools. While the school have defended the parade and said it was a celebration of what makes the children proud, the woman disagreed. It felt like it was lecturing me about something to do with British values, and somehow we weren't adhering to British values, Motago said. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona Ade 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Ibezim denies sponsoring killings in Anambra State. Man docked for allegedly stealing engine oil worth 1.3 million naira in Enugu. Peterobi stands no chance. Anambra votes will be swallowed by one Kaduna local government, Nasa El Rufai. Appeal court restrains PDP, INEC from conducting fresh primaries in Imo Federal Constituency. Ebonyi APC warns opposition against violent politics. Woman sues UK school for making son participate in LGBT parade. You just listened to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyuchukwu Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Once again, good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately.
So thanks for listening. Like the video, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. And then you'll be updated.
News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,